To give you all a feel, I know some of you already, but to give you a feel for Construction Scotland Innovation Centre, who we are and how we work, and sort of our priorities within the sustainability space. Feel free to unmute yourself and butt in along the way if you want, or save questions until the end. So, just for those of you...
Careful what you wish for.
Certainly, I know Peter and Nick haven't had any workings with you yet at the University of St Andrews, so that's maybe interesting. I was with the University of Strathclyde Estates all yesterday afternoon, which is probably why they decided not to come on to this meeting this afternoon. So anyway, Construction Scotland Innovation Centre is really a unique collaborative support at the heart of transformational change within the construction sector, working with our partners like Zero Waste Scotland, and really driven by our funders, Scottish Government, down through Scottish Enterprise, Highlands and Islands Enterprise and Scottish Funding Council, to really try and stimulate transformational change. So our key role is to champion innovation by connecting Scotland's construction industry so that really transformational change for the sector is enforced. We're in our second round of funding now. We've delivered 5 years, and at that point we worked very much at an individual company level on the whole, really helping incremental innovation and helping these companies change and grow. But now we've got our next 5 years of funding, and we've got a renewed focus on larger collaborative projects, usually involving key procurers, often public sector players there, and really helping drive change in the supply chain. And it's also about helping the sector to really begin to exploit global opportunities. It's been very parochial to date, and equally helping to move innovation up the agenda and becoming much more mainstream. So that's all our missions and objectives. Really briefly, we're one of 8 government innovation centres across Scotland, focused on really key areas of expertise, particularly within Scotland's university sector. So we work very closely with Census in the built environment. They're based at the University of Strathclyde, and they're focused on artificial intelligence and sensing, so very much at the smart buildings end. And naturally, Data Lab 2 was at the very heart of digital. But we have got crossover with digital health, iBio, IC, and to an extent the Oil and Gas Innovation Centre. All the innovation centres are really, we're facilitators, we're stimulators of change and supporters of change, and so we're almost linchpins at the heart of industry. What we do is industry driven, or very much driven by the challenges of the public sector, particularly in our case as key procurers of projects at a design build, even in operation stage. And our key role is also to bring in Scotland's academic sector at a research and development level to work with industry and work with the public sector to drive that change. So it's interesting also to be working with the estates. We do some work with Glasgow University Estates, University of Stirling Estates, and now in deeper discussions with University of Strathclyde Estates, very much you know, as part of your build programmes and as the key procurers, as well as obviously your academic end of things. So we're working to really exploit the expertise and the facilities within the Scottish academic network and really make that much more available to the Scottish industry base. In phase 1, we were working with 14 of Scotland's universities. We're now extended our reach and partnership to the entire Scottish university base, and also the colleges have come on board. So we have, as I will explain later, we have some funding as well that can go into projects. We often leverage it in against other funders, but if we are putting funding into a project, it always goes to buy out Scottish university or now college expertise for the benefit of the industry partners. So how do we see innovation? So the way we're looking very much now, oh no, I've got your internet connection is unstable, just come up on my screen. I hope that's not for too long. I'm up against all the challenges, smoke alarms, innovation, internet unstable, but I'll carry on. So we see innovation as change that unlocks new value. So you know, if there's not a value in the change that the industry is looking for or public sector are looking for, then it's purely invention and there's no real benefit. But for the projects that we're supporting and where we will invest resource, whether that's in kind or with our funding streams, is where there's going to be ideally economic impact, not just at an individual company level, but at the wider industry level, but equally at an environmental impact and key social impact as well. So, to the more interesting side of things, as opposed to who we are and where we come from. We're focused in phase 2 on 4 programme priorities, and they are at the heart of building sustainably, and that's obviously, you know, a focus of what we are talking about today. So again, where we're focusing out, where we're working with industry to focus its attentions, must hit one or more of these parameters, but we do, you know, we do want most projects to be putting building sustainably at their heart. The others where the construction sector is absolutely ripe for change are, as Nick pointed out, digital transformation and that McKinsey index of digitisation, and looking to really industrialise manufacture and take as much as possible into off-site manufacturing. And as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of culture change required in the sector to really help the sector change its mindset, become much more innovative, get innovation on the board agenda. But equally, at a culture level, it's an ageing workforce within the construction sector. We need to appeal to the younger generation, and so we do a lot of work within schools and with the student base to really attract them into construction and really demonstrate to them that the future of construction is digital as well, which is where they are, and so that they see it as having much wider opportunity than they perhaps do at the moment, and equally creating a much more diverse workforce. So building sustainability. Our activities with client base focus around 4 core activities, so I'm just going to touch on these. First of all, I'll take you through them. Actually, getting a snapshot there on the screen. But first of all, connected ecosystem. That's our work on a one-to-many basis, really a stimulation level for the sector and education level. So we run a large series of seminars and workshops. The picture up there on the left-hand side of your screen is our Innovation Factory facility, which I'll tell you a bit more about later. But in addition to our seminar rooms, we've got this fantastic space within our factory which can be converted, you know, really converted with an ideal backdrop of the factory itself and some of the latest digital manufacturing technology, but it's ideal for seminars and workshops of a large scale. We run a number of hackathons as well, which is very much about engaging the Scottish student base with industry to really try and solve design solutions. We've just run 4 hackathons recently within the Innovation Factory with Heriot-Watt University, looking at the design challenges of building their solar decathlon entry, their solar decathlon energy efficient house, which is Heriot-Watt are taking part in Solar Decathlon Middle East in 2020. And so working with the industry base and company providers together with the student base to co-design an energy efficient home fit for the 21st century. And that's part of a global competition at Expo 2020 in Dubai. We encourage live builds. The one down in your bottom left on the screen is a passive house live build, an element of insulated concrete formwork. Passive house build, which was driven by West of Scotland Housing Association client, but with a collective architecture and eConnect as the designers and the technology providers. So that's actually out in our yard at Construction Scotland Innovation Centre, but it was to allow key parts of the supply chain to come and see how different elements of the build take place, particularly so that the contractors know how to be building to passive house standard with the different components of that build. And then on the bottom right is really just to show that the facility that we have is ideal for product launches as well. So our connected ecosystem, it's in our communications area, it's our information sharing, and at the moment we've got an event programme of 50 events per year, so we'd hope to have you along, or certainly we work in partnership all the time, so more than happy, and we often do with Zero Waste Scotland, initiate events alongside partners to serve industry need, and are happy to work with partners to design what these might look like. Quick click on our connected ecosystem to our newsletter.
Lucy, sorry to interrupt. Could I ask you just to finish as quickly as you can, please? We're starting to run out of time a wee bit.
Oh, right, sorry.
I don't mean draw it to a conclusion right now. I just mean go through the rest of it as quick as you possibly can.
Right, no problem, no problem. Right, that's the newsletter. I'll take you to the Innovation Factory because that's the critical part, okay? So here's our Innovation Factory. Haven't got a video, unfortunately. It's the construction industry's first dedicated digital manufacturing, prototyping and future skills centre of excellence. That's when it launched, looking very clean. So it's an open access facility that universities can come and use, that industry can come and use to work on development and R&D, prototyping, or trying out new technology, demonstrating new processes, and equally it's used for upskilling of workforce and the emergent workforce from universities and colleges. I wanted to highlight in particular two particular pieces of kit within the circular economy. So our Stonemaker Magimix, as I like to call it, is for the, I'll just flick through some slides there, but it's for the creation of bricks and blocks and pavers, but which are using recycled waste. So waste, different forms of aggregate, or it can be wet waste. It doesn't have to be dry waste. Are fed into the machine like a big, as they like a big Magimix. It uses vibration technology, and out pops. So this is the Kenotech brick, which you might be familiar with, the Kenotech brick that Heriot Water spun out, and it's made of 90% recycled construction waste, including gypsum, and it's an unfired brick, so it has absolutely fine, fine environmental credentials, and that has been prototyped within a factory. And this is our thermal bonding line, which is a massive piece of Italian kit which is now operational. We've had a few teething problems with it due to a gas supply issue, but it's now operational. And it, as you will see, is for the creation of installations. And that installation can be in bat or in roll format, and from a number. That's just some pictures from the factory. We are open to trialling lots of different forms of waste. Again, it can be natural products, or it can be different forms of waste, plastics, glass, as well as fibrous materials like this, and for the creation and testing of new installation materials, and us then equally working with the with the users to try and create as strong a commercialisation path as possible. Just very quickly, I promise it'll be no more than a couple of minutes, again about waste reduction, and as Nick had been saying, really designing for easy assembly and disassembly. We work with the WikiHouse Foundation and other open source digital design, so there's no fixtures and fittings, it's all very like Meccano, it's all plug and play slot systems, so with our digital timber manufacturing equipment that we can allow companies to come and test such open source designs. WikiHouse within the factory. We've got all our off-site timber frame manufacturing line, which again obviously is all about the reduction in waste in the manufacturing process of timber frame buildings. And we're for homegrown timber and bringing that much more into the supply chain in the construction sector and high value applications like cross laminated timber. So if I just, to finish off, you can have a quick flick through what I'm showing is also in the factory, just pretend it's a movie. And just as a quick flick on the collaborative project side, just really to highlight that we are very much about working in collaboration with industry partners, the supply chain, the public sector, to to support collaborative projects. So the KBRIT, we invested over 200,000 in that to really take it on its final stage of its journey. It's been in R&D, but we've been helping to get it into production and demonstration. Energy Store, you might be familiar with them. It's super bead insulation that they provide, but it's looking more for a new way of actually installing that within solid wall tenements in Glasgow. Working with MOOC Environmental in terms of the recycled toner cartridges, and been working on a project to get them into the Kenotech brick, as well as looking at waterproofing concrete. And just as an example there, working with the university base to provide monitoring on some of the modular builds. This is to gold standard, and it was Scotland's largest site at the time to be built volumetrically and modular. But for doing all the building performance and post-occupancy evaluation, as well as full life cycle costing. So there's lots of different ways. I don't want to dwell on any longer. I realise I've probably overused my time slot, but really to give you a feel for how Construction Scotland's Innovation Centre can be working with your organisations, and we'd be more than happy to welcome you into the centre to have a deeper discussion and to demonstrate the Innovation Factory and really work out some of the challenges you're facing and how we could work together. And that's equally, with the colleges and Zero Waste Scotland as partners. Thanks very much.